On Florida's East Coast, Jacksonville is known as a pleasant place to live, with its holiday resorts. But a few kilometers away, a completely different scene is playing out in the city's largest conference center. On one side, homeowners at risk of foreclosure. On the other, they're bankers. They come together for one last negotiation attempt in the hope of stopping insolvent borrowers from ending up on the streets. And when a homeowner manages to save their home, everyone seems relieved.
Yeah.
Hallelujah! Yeah, there's a burden lifted. Y'all don't know.
The bank has agreed to give this woman a 30% reduction. Ever since her husband was diagnosed with stomach cancer, she hasn't been able to pay her monthly payments. Over the course of 5 days, 4,500 interviews will take place in Jacksonville. One of many stops of what the organization has baptized the Save the Dream Tour. 12,000 in Miami, 7,200 in Atlanta, and 37,000 in Los Angeles. These days, it is not stars that fill stadiums, but bankers. Many attendees even spend the night on site to be first in line. Take average middle-class Americans such as Sabrina and Cedric. He is a civil servant, she is a sales assistant. With 4 children, they were forced to file for personal bankruptcy.
Alex, nice to meet you. Have a seat, please.
One of the organization's employees helps them prepare their interview with the banker. They must justify 3 months of late payments.
Okay, do you have a knocker? What's the reason for being late?
Initially, I was doing contract work, and eventually, when we first bought the home, she was working at Bell South.
We had the income there when I purchased the home.
Since then, however, she's been laid off. The couple's income has significantly dropped, and they haven't been able to make their payments.
I collected unemployment for a little bit, then I went and started working for FedEx, and it was a lot lower income. It was cut in half.
Okay,
I went
so
from over $40,000 to $20,000.
I was doing like 50-something thousand, and now I'm at 30-something thousand, 31.
Their advisor recommends that they prove to their banker that they have always tried their best to pay the loan.
Right. Okay.
They must return tomorrow to meet the banker. In the meantime, they return to their home in a suburb of Jacksonville.
Well, we probably got about $12 left in our bank account.
And that's after paying all the bills. We caught up on our bills, and we was just gonna let the house go because we have to eat.
The family lives in a middle-class neighborhood with spacious homes and impeccable lawns.
This one was on foreclosure right here.
They paid $150,000 for their home, choosing a mortgage with a variable interest rate. Over the past 6 years, this rate has increased from 4% to 9%. Until this meeting, which was facilitated by NACA. All their negotiation attempts with the bank had failed.
I have to bring a copy of my property taxes, child support. I've called Bank of America quite a few times. I've always gotten a different person and a different answer. And I went round and round with them, and I talked to probably about 6 different representatives. Really, at this point, you know, they set homeowners up for failure.
In Florida, over 450,000 families are at risk of foreclosure, and these are not empty threats. Since the subprime mortgage crisis in 2008, 6 million homes have been foreclosed in the United States. In this Orlando suburb, meet Luz and Jose Quiles,
Come in.
an American couple of Puerto Rican descent.
Here we are. This is our home.
Most loan defaulters are African Americans or Hispanics, and for many of them, losing their home is like losing a part of their American identity.
I always dreamed of owning a house. It reassures me to know that we have a place of our own.
They purchased this house with a 30-year mortgage, but when Luz's husband lost his job, the American dream of owning a home with a pool turned into a nightmare. They too will try their luck with the bankers in Jacksonville.
Of course I'm worried. Where are you going to go? We have already given a lot of money to the bank. Out of the $160,000, we've already paid $20,000 to $30,000. It's a lot, especially to lose it all overnight.
Foreclosure became all the more menacing when it happened to their own neighbor.
When he found that the bank was going to seize it, he just left. He lost the house in which he'd lived for 20 years.
If the same happens to Jose and Luz, they will have no other choice but to return to Puerto Rico. Because in the United States, ending up on the street after a foreclosure is a very real risk. In Florida, homeless centers are at full capacity, such as Pinellas Hope, a campground run by a charity on Florida's west coast. Here, everything is free, but there's only enough room for 400 economic refugees, far too little considering the demand. Linda Gendron has lived here for a month, ever since she was thrown out of a small house that she bought 22 years ago.
Home sweet home. You're more than welcome.
Today, everything she owns fits in this 3 square meter tent.
My sleeping mat and a sleeping bag, food from the store, and all my clothes, and this is my savings. That's all I got.
28 cents, which she found on the ground.
Did you ever imagine that you could be homeless?
No, my parents are probably turning over in their graves, you know, because after having a job of 30 years, you know, I didn't expect this.
The Save the Dream Tour has been designed as the last chance for people in financial difficulty.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to NACA Save the Dream. This is our 52nd.
Bruce Marks' profile is not typical of a social activist. With an MBA in finance, he long worked for the Federal Reserve before becoming one of the most adamant critics of the banking system.
So where's everybody from? Florida? Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale. The American dream had always been if I work hard and I played by the rules, I could do well. That's not happening anymore. And the people who have not played by the rules, who have made all the mistakes, who've gotten us in this crisis, the bankers, Wall Street, failure from their point of view has generated hundreds of millions of dollars in severance payments. I mean, the amount of money they get for failure is obscene.
With a powerful message, Bruce Marks has brought together hundreds of thousands of bankrupt homeowners and has pushed banks to participate in these negotiations.
We're waiting for Mr. Newby. Mr. Newby had to get reworked. Our customers, we're here to help them. So the better solution is to give them some type of modification or system on their home.
But for the bank, is it also better?
Oh, it's better for the bank as well.
Why?
It's good rapport, it's good for the community, it's good for, the homeowner itself, and the economical benefits for the bank and the homeowner.
Are you guys ready? Yeah. Just follow me.
It's Luz and Jose's turn, the owners of the Orlando suburb property.
I hope we'll come to an understanding.
Yes, we hope that you will bring us luck.
I can't guarantee you anything. All I can do is correctly fill out the documents.
We're the owners, but it's up to you to decide. There's nothing we can do. I feel stuck, like with a gun to my head.
We are not allowed to sit in on the discussion. The banker seems unwilling to budge. He thinks that Luz and Jose can pay their $1,100 mortgage payment, the equivalent of half their monthly income. At a neighboring table, things seem to be going better for Sabrina and Cedric. For the last hour, the employee has been reviewing the couple's financial situation to see if they deserve a second chance. Cedric and Sabrina have one thing going for them. They both work, and most importantly, they insist on one point. They paid back their mortgage for as long as it was possible.
When did that start? 2006.
Okay.
because they automatically took everything to pay everything. It was always on time.
Right.
But we didn't have but $160 left.
Okay,
Yeah,
so but then finally, with all the payments going out, that's why you finally fell behind your house in 2010, right?
Correct.
Because you were keeping the house current till 2010.
Yeah.
So this is the offer we're going to present to you. So your payment is $1,020.
$400 less per month.
That's at a fixed rate.
It's at a fixed rate of 4.
They promised to put it to good use.
It's not to buy anything, it's to save. Because if you ever put in another situation where you lose your income and you have to look for income, you do still have that money available and on hand.
While they exit relieved, on the other side of the room, the Orlando couple is not faring as well. The discussion with the banker ended badly. They have obtained neither a payment reduction nor a fixed rate.
It's not easy. We're losing our home. And the government distributes funds. But then again, that money, where is it going? Those funds were supposed to help banks renegotiate with us, but not a penny to be seen, and people are being kicked out. It's really not easy.
A month later, they will have their house reevaluated. In 8 years, it has lost half of its value. With NACA's help, Jose and Luz eventually convinced the bank to recalculate their mortgage based on this new evaluation, making it a year's battle to finally get the bank to concede. After Jacksonville, NACA will stop in Baltimore, New York, and Charlotte. The Save the Dream tour is far from over. Next year, 2 million indebted Americans may lose their homes.